So welcome back to the Impact Arena, just north of Bangkok, and now the third week of world-class badminton. The HSBC BWF World Tour Finals, just for the best of the best, the top 8 players and pairs in each of the 5 disciplines, battling it out for the right to be crowned champions. Well, we've had 5 matches already, and now the second 5 matches on day 1 of competition. And we're going to start with Antonsen, the World Championship silver medalist and winner of the Denmark 750 event, up against the former world #1, Kidambi Srikanth. Then we'll have a mixed doubles, and the beaten finalist at the Spain Masters 300, Jikel and Del Rue, up against the beaten finalists from the Thailand Masters 300, Faisal and Wijaya. After that, it's an all-Thailand affair in the women's singles. It's a 4-time semi-finalist and an 8th appearance here at the end-of-season championships for Ratchanok Intanon, the #3 seed. She's up against Pornpawik Chochuang, who won the Spain Masters 300 in the qualifying period. Then it's another mixed doubles, and it's a repeat of the All England final and a repeat of the Yonex Thailand Open final just 2 weeks ago. Puavaranukro and Teurat Tanachai up against Jordan and Octavianti, who won the All England final. Then our last match of the day will be Victor Axelsen, who won the Super 1000 Slam for 2020. All 3 Super 1000 titles to the Dane. He's up against Anthony Sinisuka Ginting, who was beaten finalist at the last World Tour Finals. Well, you can see this is a Group B match. Antonsen at the top of Group B, you see there, and that's because he's the #2 seed. Wang Sui, the #4 seed, and of course the beaten finalist from the Yonex Thailand Open makes up Group B as well, Onkar Long. So it goes without saying that these are very strong groups. Antonsen, his win-loss record translates into 16 finals and 10 titles from those 16 finals for Kidambi Srikanth, 17 career finals and 11 titles, making up those win-loss records for both those players. But perhaps more importantly, as far as the 2020 World Tour tournaments are concerned, well, for Antonsen, 2 finals, 2 semi-finals and 2 first-round losses. 6 tournaments in his 2020 HSBC BWF World Tour campaign. There he is, the World Championship silver medalist. And his opponent, Kidambi Srikanth. Former world #1, and he played all 9 qualifying tournaments. And the qualifying tournaments actually have happened over 3 calendar years, because the Syed Modi 300 event at the end of 2019, then of course the disrupted 2020 calendar year, and the 2 tournaments we've just had here in Bangkok count towards these postponed HSBC BWF World Tour Finals.
Okay, so that's choose your color, black or red? Red, you have black one, okay? You wanted us to serve? That's it.
So, as you saw, this will be a 3rd meeting between these 2 players. Honours are shared, 1 win apiece. The last time they met was in 2019 in the first round of the Denmark 750 event, and Antonsen won that last encounter. So, as you heard, Kidambi won the toss. He chose to serve, which means that Antonsen, the 23-year-old from Aarhus, got to choose ends. Well, before the rankings were frozen, he had spent 7 weeks in total across 3 spells at his career high of #3. So just 6 tournaments in his World Tour campaign for 2020, but importantly, he played all 3 Super 1000s, the only 750, and both the 500 events. His opponent, as I was telling you, played all 9 qualifying events for these World Tour finals. But the last time he was in a final was the Indian Open of 2019. That's very nearly 2 years ago. The best that he did this year in his World Tour campaign was 2 quarterfinals from his 9 tournaments. And he will turn 28 in 11 days' time. Former world number 1, as I was telling you, just 1 week as world number 1. But currently number 14 on the world ranking. Our umpire for this one is Robertus Tommy Oscariano from Indonesia, and Bert van Horenbeck of Belgium will be the service judge. There he is. So, as far as Kidambi is concerned, he is the only men's singles player in these World Tour finals that played all 9 qualifying events. He's a former semi-finalist at the end of season championship, is Kidambi. That was back in 2014 in Dubai. Lost out to the eventual champion Chen Long in that semi-final. So Kenneth Jonassen, the Danish coach, so as the players get ready, I can welcome Steen Pedersen, and I can see that the Achilles of Kidambi Srikanth, heavily strapped. He actually pulled out of the Yonex Thailand Open 2nd round against Lee Jia with a calf strain, but that looks more like an Achilles strapping to me, Steen.
Yeah, but I think it's the same strapping as he wore in the 1st round of the tournament last week in Toyota Thailand Open. So I think it is to support the right calf muscle there, and he has played 1 match since pulling out of Yonex Thailand Open, which was the 1st tournament. So I hope it's just a precaution, but that's one of the interesting things to see how he's reacted to that break he's had to have.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Anders Antonsen, Denmark. And on my left, Kidambi Srikanth, India. Kidambi Srikanth to serve. Love all. Play.
So the former world number 1, Kidambi Srikanth, making his 4th appearance at the end of season championships. Nearest to us, against the World Championship silver medalist, the number 2 seed, Anders Antonsen. Well, that's just long, but Steen, this was a match we were hoping to see last week, wasn't it? Because they were due to meet each other in the 2nd round, and Kidambi had to withdraw from the match because his roommate, Sai Praneeth, had tested positive for COVID, so he had to be in self-isolation. He's had numerous tests since then. He's tested negative on every occasion, so thankfully he's allowed to play.
Yeah, that's good for him. It would have been devastating if he had to pull out of 3 tournaments in a row.
Lee So-hee and Shin Soo-chan from Korea. Umpire, Ramida Asawatoso from Thailand.
Short.
Service judge.
Now, Steen, I'm also very interested with Anders Antonsen because I don't think you and I called the match, but I'm sure you watched it when he played the semi-final last week against the man promoted from the reserve list, Hans Christian Wietinghus.
Yeah.
It was a close opening game, 21-19, but the 2nd game, Anders Antonsen only scored 8 points, which you don't really expect from the world number 3 against the world, what is Viting, who's 42 or something at the moment?
42 ahead of these 3 tournaments here. No, and that match is a problem for Antonsen, I fear, because this man here, Srikanth Kidambi, he would have seen it as well, and if you saw that match, you could see that that Antonsen was without chance in the second game.
Antonsen challenges.
Well, we've got our first challenge of this match, and I think he's going to win that challenge. I thought that shuttle was out. But it matters not what I think. It's all about what Hawkeye says. There you go.
Correction
Good
out.
challenge.
Service over. 1-4.
So it seemed like Antonsen, he ran out of steam in that match. The first game he tried, and Vittinghus was solid in his defense, but it was also telling that Vittinghus was without chance the following day against Victor Axelsen. So
Play.
we don't really know much about Antonsen, except that it's probably not the player who won Denmark Open that we are watching on court right now. He was hit by coronavirus and went down with COVID-19 in early December. Struggled against time to get ready for departure for these 3 tournaments here in Bangkok, and I think he's got a bit to go yet.
Oh, good dive. Yeah, good put away. Good work by Kidambi.
6-1.
Well, here's a fun fact for you, Steen, because of course I was telling you that Kidambi has not been past a quarter-final despite his 9 tournaments, all 9 tournaments, to qualify for these World Tour finals. And we've never had a men's singles winner who has not reached a qualifying tournament final throughout the qualifying period.
Wow. So Srikanth is out.
He's going to
or
break
maybe
the
he's going to
mold.
prove us wrong.
No, we like records to be set.
Yeah.
He's going to be the first one. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because I know you're a Dane and there's a Dane on court.
Yeah, but I agree that I think actually Srikanth is the favorite in this match, judging from the first 8 rallies here. We've been, or at least, I don't know, but I've been really curious to see how this lockdown has affected Srikanth, because he's had a lot of break from badminton, and I mean, the good thing from an Indian perspective, or from Kidambi's perspective, is that he hasn't, for over a year, he hasn't lost a match to Kento Momota, just like Axelsen. 2 of the players who were at the top when Momota came back and suffered the most playing him, because they lost a lot of matches and they lost them badly.
Yeah.
Axelsen got back and played some 3-game matches against Momota before the lockdown and so on, but I think it affected Srikanth's self-confidence, and he had to develop his playing style a bit as well. So, plus he played in an awful lot of tournaments. So it's interesting to see whether he's used this period here to get back to shape.
Yeah.
Whether he's at the top of his game, whether he's 80% or wherever he is.
Yeah. That's gone well long. It's a very interesting point you make, Steen, because back in 2017, Kidambi became only the 5th men's singles player in Super Series history to contest 5 or more men's singles finals in a calendar year. The others being Lin Dan, Bao Chun Lai, Lee Chong Wei and Chen Long. So for him to be in that sort of company, and yes, he has been a little bit in the wilderness in the last year, 2 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, in my opinion.
This is a good rally.
And this is perhaps also some of the game that he's had to develop. More rallying style. He's probably also had to develop his defense a bit. And it takes time if it's areas, big areas or important areas that you have to develop in. And it takes time before you get it back into your game. And if you also hit on and off by injuries and so on, then it becomes difficult. And it's a double-sided sword, so to speak.
Yeah.
We have these many badminton tournaments. It's lovely, but it's also something that makes the players, they really have to prioritize.
Oh, look at that defense.
That's some really good rallies. This is one of them in the opening.
This will hurt Antonsen.
Yeah, because we felt he ran out of steam against Vittinghus after the
very
long
much
rallies.
So, yes.
That's going wide. Yeah, well left.
Service over. 5-8.
Well, clearly the longest rally of the match so far.
One of the things that made Srikanth so strong in 2017 was that he's an excellent player in windy conditions. Very delicate technical skills, good net game, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Service over. 9-5.
But I also felt when he was at his best and became world #1, I thought Srikanth was a wonderful attacking player.
He was.
And the fact that you're saying perhaps he's had to develop playing these longer rallies and develop his defence a bit more, I can understand why, but I'm concerned that maybe it's changed his style of play.
That's always the danger when you start developing your weakest side, that you overdo it a little bit and you become undangerous.
Yeah.
Service over.
I think
6.
the two best examples I've seen on doing that development is it's both Chinese, but it's also back in the 1900s. It's Sun Jun and Dong Zhong. Each of them, Dong Zhong was a fantastic attacking player. He developed his ability to play rallying games and his defense, so that his attack would become dominant. And Sun Jun, who was a fantastic rally player, fantastic defensive player, he developed attack so that it would actually score him points after playing long rallies against opponents. But they were, I remember it because Dong Zhong, he came to Denmark to Copenhagen Masters, and I was telling everybody that they were going to see fireworks. They saw nothing of it. He played defensive all tournament long and didn't go to the final at all. It was a pool group system tournament. And some occasions we saw Sun Jun fire at everything, and it was pathetic because he didn't have the firing power. He needed to find the right mix, and that took some time.
7.
It could actually be a rather open match. We don't see that strong direction change from Srikanth here. He's not really going for that one. I think he could have if he'd been fully fit. So that tells me that his calf muscle is one that he doesn't trust entirely yet.
Well, it wasn't only his lack of movement, Steen. Did you see the grimace on his face?
No, I didn't see it.
Looked to me as if he was in pain trying to change direction.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going wide.
Good shot.
That's a lovely drop. Yep.
Service
To the mid-game
over.
interval,
11-8
Kidambi
in the
Srikanth with a 3-point advantage. Just 11 minutes into the match. Good tight net play. Park Tae-sang, Indian coach, former Korean player.
For 20 seconds. For 20 seconds.
Well, Steen, we didn't get to hear anything that Kenneth Jonasson said there, so I want to know what you would have said in such circumstances.
Yeah. That's a good question, because it depends a lot on the condition of Anders Antonsen and how he feels. I would expect him to feel. We've heard in previous weeks that he was a bit short for breath at some points, and if he's still that, then I would ask him to carefully look for scoring opportunities, chances where it's 60-40 or so. But it would be a mix of not risking creating easy mistakes. So playing this far side of the court that he is right now, I think the only reasonable way is to go on some sort of attack where you try to control the rallies, play mostly downwards, and then once in a while put some deceptions on the front court to Srikanth's backhand corner. And then if Kenneth noticed, like we did, that he was a little bit troubled moving to that forehand side after being in the backhand side, Srikanth, then that could perhaps also go into it. But that becomes a lot to discuss in the mid-game interval.
But that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Played forehand net to Srikanth and then smashed down his backhand side.
Yes.
It was a wonderful smash. That was plumb on the line, you know.
That's a little deception.
Well left.
11-12.
Well, he's done well, considering he was 1-7 down at one stage. Antonsen. Yeah, that's very good judgment.
That's well played. And that's positive for Antonsen, because it doesn't seem like these a little bit longer rallies in the beginning of the match has influenced him that much.
So a one-time 6-point deficit has been closed. 12 all. Well, that's the info. Yeah, misjudged that one.
Service over.
That's nicely done by Srikanth.
13-12.
Yeah. But I like the idea of leaving it because otherwise, if you don't take a look once in a while, then you simply play too many shots. You're going to play some that are out, and the opponent gets more confidence playing that side and so on. So once in a while, you get to invest a shot that you read wrong.
Oh, very Played himself into trouble there. Nice block.
Oh, he's working hard there. Antonsen, that's well in.
Service over. 13. Oh.
At the moment it's Antonsen who's sort of making these changes of pace. So it could easily be a battle whether Antonsen can maintain that and have the energy and stamina to make these changes of pace, or whether Srikanth can play a steady game, same speed, and hope that Antonsen falls below that threshold.
Play.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I was about to say what a fabulous smash from Anders Antonsen, but it was a moment of magic from Kidambi Srikanth. How on earth did he defend this? Take a look at this. Swayed the body out of the way to give himself the freedom to play the block, and he played it to perfection. Look at that.
He had another one in the pocket. That's what I always say when I watch these magicians.
Yeah.
15. 13.
And he's right to look for those drop shots, because it's awfully difficult for Antonsen to lift from that far side of the court. So Kidambi, hunting the opportunity at the front of the court, was absolutely right. Oh, another moment of magic.
16. 13.
Look at that. Super.
Service over. 14. 16.
Oh, that's great work.
Service over. 17. 14. Got the puck, please.
Quite important first game, I feel, as both players must be out to sort of tank some confidence. Srikanth, after he had to withdraw and stay isolated, and Antonsen after that second game against Vittinghus. So
Yeah.
both eager to sort of re-establish a big part of their self-confidence.
17. 14.
Oh, that's a wonderful angle. That's the sort of shot of
18,
Kidambi of old.
14.
It is. Smashes licking the lines. Not the hardest of smashes, perhaps. Not that I would like to be on the other side, though, but very, very accurate.
Yeah.
And very steep as well.
6 of them are 7 points. Oh yeah. That deserved to be hit, that one, that lift from Kidambi. Too flat. Not deep enough. Right into the hitting zone of Antonsen. It's interesting. Kidambi once again hunting for the net.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
He knew that that was going to be a straight short if it was over.
So game point opportunities, 5 of them for this man, Kidambi Srikanth. Opening game, 21-15 for the former world number 1. Yeah, well, disappointing end to the game as far as Antonsen is concerned, having caught back up to 13 all. Rather a tame finish, but there was some utterly brilliant shots from this man. 21-15 in 22 minutes.
Stadigvæk, at det lange mellemspil, det virker. Det synes jeg. Så vigtigt det er, at hvis han serverer et næsten for nemt løft, så går mod kroppen i stedet for, eller tilbage, hvor han...
Og i hans fælder lige nu.
Ja, lige nok. Ja. Så det
skal jeg op og slå en kort og slå flieren.
Slå flieren også. Det giver ham den en gang til.
Den der hårde i ryggen i de bolde.
Nej.
Ved med, når du bliver trykket noget med hæt, så må hun.
Ja.
Hvis det er helt skidt, så slår den ind til midten.
Så slår den ind til midten. Og så husk, alt hvad du slår long line, drejer. Ja. Ikke også? Alt. Altså, ja, fremad. Lige sidder poster, han poster lige det på mig.
Court 1, 30 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, there was some astonishing defensive play in that opening game by Kidambi Srikanth. There's a couple of blocks across court.
Second game.
And that was exactly one of the talking points in the interval in the Danish camp. As I said, remember, if you hit long line, he's always going to cross. So I don't know if he wanted him to hit a different smash or move towards the cross immediately. The problem is, in my opinion, that it's very, very sharp, that shot from Srikanth, unless it's a very good smash from Antonsen.
2, look.
Discussing something about the mid-court game as well, that was working well. The mid-court game is where you play flat shots just behind the first service line in order to prevent your opponent from playing really close to the net, and you sort of look for opportunities. That could have been one of them to intercept in the lifts eventually from your opponent.
1, 2.
I did get the feeling, however, that that there was some fatalistic over the coaching, that it was sort of like, they didn't say it, they didn't talk about it, but I just got the feeling that it was like, okay, we have to see what happens.
2, all.
Kidambi wants the shuttle changed. Antonsen obliges.
Yeah, he will be happy to change the shuttles on this side of the court. That makes the chance of Srikanth putting it long even bigger.
Oh, that's a fantastic shot. Took the shuttle early. He had the options.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was threading everything there. Racket had held high, so he could have pushed it straight, brushed it, played it cross. First one I saw with all these opportunities was Zhao Zhenhua, the 1991 World Champion.
It's landed in. Yeah, Zhao Zhenhua, left-hander.
I can't remember when he won. Yeah, he was a left-hander.
Yeah. Ended up playing for Singapore, didn't he?
I think he did. Oh, he started well, Antonsen.
Yeah.
Discussed with Kenny Jonassen as well in the interval that he was going to move his stance forward, cover the front court well.
Yeah, that's exactly what Kidambi did to him in the opening game.
And the choice ends before the start of the match, where Antonsen selected to start at the far end. That sort of indicates to me that he's confident in a three-game match.
Well, his run of
Service
5 straight
over.
points comes to an end.
3-5.
Yeah, that's well taken.
4-5.
I think there was possibly hesitation from Antonsen in
I
that
think
deep
so.
forehand corner.
I think so too. If it wasn't for that, then it would have been a terrible shot. If it was the original thought he had. That's what counts.
Service over. 6-4. Service over. 5-6.
But it's still Antonsen is battling a mix of really well played rallies with rallies or shots that are sort of difficult to explain. If we had known that he was down with COVID-19, where suddenly an easy defensive shot is missed. It's going to be a race to keep the mistake rate low, or at least get some shots back, even though the quality might not be the best, but try to survive as much as possible, and then hope that eventually the good rallies will secure him a deciding game.
Well, it's a nice idea. Oh, that's a superb shot. Goodness me.
5.
Yeah, cross-court net shot played with speed.
Yeah, it takes courage to play it that way with the sideways drift. That's a good defense.
Yeah. Forgot what Coach Jonasson said to him.
Service over.
Smash straight. Expect
6,
the
9.
cross-court block.
Yes. Thank you. First, second hook.
Republic Day yesterday, wasn't it? In India?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Six, 9. Seven, 9.
That's the kind of shot you can't afford too many of, Antonsen.
What you mean, just the fact that it's an error?
Yeah, because I mean, there's not a whole lot of winners on shots like that, so they're expensive. No, he's trying to play it with deception on, which is good.
But it's only a building shot.
It's only a building shot.
In which case you don't need to make it perfect. So to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage, the number 2 seed Anders Antonsen.
Okay, lige sådan. Lige nu kommer han med trykken igen også. Og de korte med skyen. For ligesom at se, om han ikke kan komme hurtigt tilbage. Hvis han vil spille 4 hjørner, så skær den ned foran ham. Kort, op over. Stå der. Ikke også?
Catch any of that, Steen?
Yeah, they feel that Srikanth is coming with a lot of pressure now after the interval, trying to catch up quickly. So he really has to be ready in service situation and eventually defense. If, on the other hand, Srikanth plays all 4 corners, then Anna should cut it down in front of him and from the net play lifts.
Twelve, 7.
Oh, that's a lovely shot.
Service over. 8, 12. Like the court. Yes.
That's the sort of shot he was known for, wasn't he?
Thank
He
you.
was.
Srikanth. Thank you.
In that net game. Good lift from Antonsen.
All challenge here.
Challenges call out.
A little risky to challenge on that far back line from where he is.
I think it was based on Srikanth's hesitation.
Here we go. What does Hawkeye say? Clearly long.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 9-12. Play.
Ooh, I would challenge that.
Service over.
Well, he's not going to.
No.
9.
Well, he's obviously in a better position than I am to see.
I think maybe
So look.
half the line.
Oof, that was close.
It's a bad miss.
Yeah, he never really got behind it, did he?
No.
He was sort of stretching behind. He was jumping or sort of hopping backwards, wasn't he? Take a look at this.
He was about to get one of those rallies going that that I think Antonsen is a little allergic to at the moment.
Oh, that was
It was going
close.
wide.
I thought so too.
It's been extremely important points for Antonsen the last two. And a good fight back by the Dane. Hanging in there.
Play.
Oh yes,
Service
I
over.
like the punch clears
10,
from
15.
Kidambi. What was there? There was 2 or 3. I think there may have been 3.
3 at least, I think.
1. Oh no, we haven't seen them all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it gets Antonsen off balance.
Yeah.
Then he's got the opportunity to go for the winner.
When he can hit that right sideline with a little bit of margin, then he gets help from the sideways drift, and then it suddenly becomes a very, very fast shot. But he needs a bit of luck if he is to get back in this second game. 5 points, that's a lot. When the score is 15-10.
That's a super shot again from Antonsen.
It's over. 16-10. Service over. 11-16.
Boy, that's a good leave.
12-16.
Really, really got to leave because the sideways drift helps the shuttle stay in normally in that side of the court.
This is a big point. Oh dear. because all of a sudden it's believable again for
Yeah, it
Srikanth
is.
to catch back up. Oh, yeah, that was short, that lift, or that little push. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be from Antonsen, but it got what it deserved.
Yeah, and clever by Srikanth to mix it up with a body smash here. Keeps Antonsen guessing. He's got to cover.
Oh, right into the corner. That's super. There's just 1 point in it now.
And he's showing some of the front court skills that we know that he has. Srikanth Kidambi. Just comes so natural for him.
Oh, he's missed it!
Service over.
That could be costly.
17-15.
Just seemed to be on a run. He had an opportunity. Just overdid it. Yeah,
Service over.
made that look easy from the nets.
And
Kidambi.
it's so difficult.
Yeah,
This shot is good. This shot is fantastic.
yeah.
And that's the sign of a true attacking player, a true strong front court player, that you have opportunities, numerous opportunities in those situations. This man is not too bad himself on the front court.
So
And
six
Thompson.
of the last 7 points.
Service over. 18-16.
Yeah, interesting reaction from Antonsen. A little verbal celebration,
Yeah.
quick to pick up the shuttle. So 2 points away from the second game now, Antonsen.
And he's used his lead to sort of his 6 point lead from 15-9, 16-10 to sort of let Srikanth make the mistakes. There's the first winner for a long, long time for Antonsen.
20. Game point 16. Change.
I did wonder whether Srikanth actually hit the net there. Was it the shuttle or was it just the wind of his racket moving the net? So game point opportunities. 4 of them for Antonsen. Oh, that'll do nicely. My goodness me. A bit of trickery to end the second game. And 21-16 in favour of the number 2 seed, Anders Antonsen. And it's 1 game all Look at that. Fabulous. So 1 game all.
Så husker vi lige på herovre. Det er det, han vil. Det er det, han vil pumpe med de hjørner. Okay. Han spiller kort frem, du spiller blødt tilbage. Dum. Eller kort lige tilbage, hvor du kommer fra. Hele tiden også. Når du svipper, så har han brugt derovre fra clearen. Eller det lige primært det lige angreb, især hvis du svipper den over med hjørnet. Så bumper clearen den vej ned. Eller det her, for igen at komme frem og så styre. Okay. Men Anders, det er mest
timing. And one more second. You remember last day? He was not wrong block. He never hitting too close me. Never. Only wrong block and hit back to back. So that's how to do. Wrong block, ready to wrong and ready to front. Almost backside. Okay. Almost backside. No. Front is anything so. Front. Second, fast. Badminton, very important skill. Manta is not fast. 11 people.
Forward 1, 20 seconds. Forward 1, 20 seconds.
So 1 game all.
Final game.
I don't know if you were able to make out anything that either of the coaches were saying there, Steen.
I was from the Danes. They feel that whenever Anders is flicking, then Srikanth is playing cross clear or attack down the line, and they feel that Srikanth's game plan is to push him to the backline corners. They also have a read on what happens when Anders plays mid-court area, what the plan is there.
Service over.
He wants to
1 love.
cross lift or play tight to the net in the same side that he's in, Srikanth. So apparently they've discussed it before. There's lots of video material on most of the players in the tournament, so there's no doubt they're well prepared. But anyway, a deciding game here means that eventual winner is of course happy, but still lost the game, and eventual loser will have lost the match but still has a game in the pocket, which could be crucial in the end if some players has the same amount of wins when the group stage is finalized.
Service over.
Steen, just to emphasise how Kidambi's been struggling since 2018. He hasn't won a World Tour event. Oh, hang on, wait a minute, we're getting the doctor here, are we? Which one's called the doctor?
There's Srikanth.
Oh, dear, dear me. Anyway, while the doctor comes on, I'll continue telling you he's never won a World Tour event. He's only ever been in 1 final. Whereas when we had the Super Series, which was pre-World Tour, he was the 4th most successful men's singles player in Super Series history.
Yeah.
Lee Chong-wei 46, Lin Dan 21, Chen Long 20. So between them, those 3 players, I think it's, yeah, he's having a look at the ankle, isn't he?
He just needed the scissor to cut some of it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so 3 players in the Super Series era, won over 60% of all Super Series titles, just 3 players.
Dominant.
I mean, for Srikanth to be the 4th most successful men's singles player in the 11 years of the Super Series, you know, what's happened to him now? We got used to his brilliance, I guess. Oh, I'm glad he's all right, and it just needed a bit of that tape cutting off.
Service over. 3-1.
Good rally.
I think it's the highest paced rally we've seen in the match
I
so
agree.
far.
I agree.
3.
And it was mainly Antonsen who kicked it up a notch. I saw prior to that rally it was Srikanth to serve, and Antonsen netted a shot on his side and went away, and Srikanth went away as well. So I don't think Srikanth is sort of trying to exploit the eventual lack of physicality with the Dane, because then he would have picked it up.
Yeah.
3-all.
Yeah, and while we're looking at that again, I can tell you that Antonsen was walking awfully slowly to go and change the shuttle, using as much time as possible. Oh, that's well left. Just wide.
Service over. 4-3.
Oh, I think he can call that slightly out of position.
5-3.
Yeah, well and truly outmanoeuvred Antonsen.
Taxi.
But again, they've talked about it, the cross-court block from Kidambi.
They have, but it's still difficult when it lies in the back of your mind that what you want to play. Then,
Yeah,
even though you know it's still difficult
to stop yourself doing it.
Yeah, I've thought of that so many times. Well, I told you not to play that shot, but I just forgot it, or I couldn't do it. I knew it when I saw it coming at me, and then I still made the same shot.
Yeah.
Because it lies so much in your reflexes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Momentum a little bit with Antonsen at the moment, I feel, but we've seen how quickly it can change.
Yeah.
I just feel that he's a little bit more proactive at the moment.
Well, it took 3 attempts to put the
Service
shuttle
over.
away.
6-5.
Goodness, I didn't think he'd even reach that.
7-12.
But I don't think the feet moved at all. No. It was just a dive.
Timber!
Yeah, that is actually slightly concerning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was always taught when I was a youngster, feet first and the body will follow.
Yeah, that's outdated in men's and women's singles at the moment, and it's upper body and the racket first, because otherwise you won't make it, and then your feet have to follow as good as they can.
Service over 6-7.
Big point. Oof. Yeah, he's going to challenge that.
Antonsen challenges.
I was going to say great angle, but Antonsen begs to differ. It was a great angle.
Yeah, it was.
Well played, Srikanth.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over 8-6.
None of them are exactly rushing
No.
to the shuttle dispensers, which is one of the good things, in my opinion, that we've seen here in COVID times.
Yeah, the shuttle dispensers,
Yes.
I think they're a wonderful innovation
Service
for the
over
game.
7-8.
It's good rushing forward from
Service
Kidambi.
over 9-7.
That's what he was doing so well in the opening game. Encroaching forward to the net. Oh, that's super. What a good shot.
Over 8-9.
Yeah, it's a terrific angle.
Really well placed.
That's well worked by Kidambi.
So it's over 10-8. Yes. Thank you.
That's the one that did the damage. push deep into the Antonsen backhand corner.
Service over, 9.
Hands on
10.
hips, I think we can safely say he's frustrated with himself there. Yeah, now that's clever.
11,
Sacrifice
9,
power
ball,
for placement.
defense.
Acute angle. Straight down the line. And it is Kidambi Srikanth who has the advantage. Great shot. A 2-point advantage here in the deciding game.
Goal 1, 20 seconds. Goal 1, 20 seconds.
Well, from Antonsen's perspective, he must feel that he's got the better end from which to finish the match.
11, 9.
Yeah, I think so.
Play.
I also think the case is that he cannot play too much rallying here. I think Srikanth will then try to gain control over the rallies, so he's got to
12, 9.
take the initiative. Antonsen. Oh, that's a fantastic shot.
He's missed it! Would you believe it?
10, 12.
Well, that was an absolute golden opportunity. He'd set himself up, he'd played so well. How on earth did he miss that? Well, I think he's asking himself the same question.
That's a fantastic shot. That's a terrible one.
Yeah, 2 attempted kills,
11,
both missed
12.
in 2 consecutive rallies.
And the last one here, he didn't really commit totally to that. He was almost on his way back while hitting it.
Service over, 13, 11.
Turning back time with the 5 weeks, giving each other Christmas presents. 2 fairly easy ones from Srikanth and now one from Antonsen.
Service over, 12, 13.
Oh, yeah, it hit him. That would have gone long of the back line, I suspect.
It would.
Kidambi couldn't get out of the way. It's good hustle at the front of the court though from Antonsen.
Too many mistakes from Srikanth.
Yeah.
The last 6-7 rallies or so, he's blown obvious opportunities whilst only scoring 1 point from Antonsen's little mistake from below the tape.
Service over. 14-0.
No mistake that time with the kill.
That was the height he needed.
Yeah.
But very, very interesting now. First to 7 wins it.
Frustration almost boiling over from the number 2 seed.
That was well played by Srikanth. He learned from the other 2 opportunities he missed. A block there, and even if Antonsen gets it back, unless it's net court, tumbles down really, really close to the net, then he has no chance on the next one. Oh, that's well played.
Service over. 15-0.
Fantastic shot. What can Srikanth do? He has to move back towards the middle of the court to cover the backhand side. Beautiful play by Antonsen.
Oh, that's a good lift. Good rally. Important rally. That's just long. That could be a very, very important
16,
rally.
15.
And both players asking the umpire if they can towel down. 1 hour, 10 minutes into the match. Yeah, clearly long. Well, umpire being very generous with the amount of time they can have.
Yeah, another really important point coming up here after that long, long rally.
$16, 15.
Very important for Srikanth to win this one, I suspect.
Good defence.
Oi!
Unbelievable. Oh, that's a sensational rally. Wonderful.
Service over 16 all.
How on earth did he get that? Final kill, that was superb.
Near the lemon center. Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
Well, Kidambi is actually sitting down on the bench there.
We hope that he decides to get back on court. It looks like he would like to sit there a bit more.
Well, I have to be honest, Dean, I don't think they should be allowed to take this much time in between rallies.
No.
I mean, the match time, I know it's an hour and 12 minutes, but when I said an hour and 10 minutes a moment ago, I really thought, well, I wonder how much actual playing time they've had in that.
Maximum 25 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Awful lot of time in between rallies. Oh! That's well left.
17-16.
They're both taking some long walks around the court outside the picture. Antonsen is close to Kenneth Jonas and shaking his legs.
Yeah, well, I know after the Denmark Open final, he was struggling with cramp.
Yeah. On other occasions as well, sometimes they had to cut his socks off.
Gone long. Good defence again from Antonsen.
Over 17 all.
Yeah, it's a good flick serve.
18, 17.
Good variation.
Yeah, he was already out after that straight smash. Antonsen would have probably tried to play cross block. That was something the Danes discussed, that Srikanth very often used the straight smash or the cross clear, and the cross clear is a little bit out of the picture here because of the drift. Wait, the racket's gone. No? Sounded like that.
Oof, that's fantastic. Well, no challenge from Kidambi.
19-17.
Which I don't understand.
I don't understand that. You're 2 points away from defeat. You haven't used a challenge all match.
No.
Yeah, looking at it again, it was clearly in though.
I think he probably would have lost the challenge, but still, I mean, that one time where you're mistaking yourself where it actually was out, you're gonna miss that.
Yeah. So a 2 point advantage now to Anders Antonsen, the number 2 seed, and 2 points away from victory in this opening Group B encounter.
19-17. Players ready?
Both players a little reluctant to play on, in my opinion.
This is, as I said before, I don't want to hark on about it, but the umpire has just been so lenient with them. Play is supposed to be continuous. Oh dear me, that's a shocker. That is a shocker. So on a run of 4 straight points, it's 3 match point opportunities for this man, Anders Antonsen.
Points over.
First match point well
18,
saved
20.
with a good angle from Kidambi Srikanth.
Okay, thank you.
And that's gone long. And on his second match point opportunity,
Match won by
Anders Antonsen
15-21,
defeats the
21-16,
former world number one
21-18.
Kidambi Srikanth in 3 games. An hour and 17 minutes. Coming from a game down. Final shot clearly long. And coming from a 3-point deficit in the deciding game to eventually win it in 3 tough games. 15-21, 21-16, 21-18 in the deciding game. So welcome back to the Impact Arena. This